Today on Slow and Noisy, Rob Churd and the Primates get invited to be in a booth spot at Formula D and decide to paint the car a week before the event. Will they make it to Jersey on time, or will the Skyline be hung out to dry? Find out today on Slow and Noisy.
This isn't fun anymore. I give up on cars. So a couple weeks ago, I got a message from a good buddy of mine asking to use our Skyline for a booth car at Formula Drift in New Jersey this year. Formula D is the world's premier drift championship, and people come from all over the place to go to every stop. That's a lot of eyeballs on one of our cars. The car has gotten a little bit of rust over the last couple years. The winters here in Maryland has really put a hurting on the paint. So I want this car to be as perfect as possible so the whole world knows what Petroleum Primate's all about. So we only got a week, but we're gonna do a complete respray, do some rust repair, and get this thing cleaned up and ready for the big show. We've cut things last minute before, but this one's really stressing me out, so let's get started. In this box, we have a bunch of sandpaper, more sandpaper, more sandpaper, more sandpaper, more sandpaper, a zipper for when we actually go to make the booth. We got a new air dryer system, which is expensive. And we also bought ourselves a new Milwaukee DA because I'm tired of messing with air tools. This should work out well, I think, I hope. So because the paint was so trashed underneath, Autoflex is just gonna stick really well to it. I sanded pretty much the entire car when we did the Autoflex. Autoflex only really peels off if you have a car that's clean and fresh. It doesn't want to peel off as something that was sanded down to 800 grit. Probably just gonna sand the entire thing, see how bad Autoflex gums everything up. Let's do this as a test panel. Maybe do like 120 grit. It's not gumming up as bad as I thought it would. Once you get the clear coat off, it's actually peelable. That soft base coat peels a little bit easier. I'm gonna fix this dent right here too. I forgot about that one. This front bumper is all kinds of messed up. There's a bunch of cracks in the fiberglass and just it's taken a beating. It wasn't a very good fitting bumper to begin with. I really wanted to order a new one, but we're kind of tight on time, obviously. We're gonna go ahead and try to sand this up. We're gonna go a little aggressive on this just to get it done. It is looking bad. Autoflex does not want to sand off because it's kind of rubbery. You can see some of the squirrely marks. I actually used the 3M rubber wheel to kind of peel it off. So we're going to keep going, and this is going to take a lot longer than I thought. Looks like I'm not really going to get any kind of sleep this week. This is going to be my first time using anything from Tamco. They seem to be a pretty reputable brand. A lot of mini truck guys use their stuff. We got the Euroclear, the urethane reducer. We're doing the slow urethane reducer because it's hot out. Slow productive hardener. And some jet black for our base. A billion packing peanuts.
hoping they'd send us some stickers. Nobody ever sends us stickers anymore. Another slow urethane reducer. Oh, it came with some fender covers. Thank you, Tamco. I didn't order that. This is going to be our inner coat slow urethane reducer, and then our high build primer, and another hardener for the primer. So their primer's supposed to be really thick. We're going to try to reduce this down a little bit more because we don't have a tip that's big enough for this at full strength. So we can reduce it down and we should be able to spray this. They recommend a 2.5 tip. If you don't reduce it down, yeah, 2.5 tip's pretty big. We got a 2.0 tip, so that should be good for this once we reduce it down. So it's Thursday, which means we have 6 days till we have to be done. So far, the sander does not want to get rid of Autoflex, so we're doing a combination of chemicals, sandpaper, a rubber wheel, and pretty much anything else that we can find that works, maybe occasionally peeling it. So we're just gonna keep working, and I can't talk, I don't have time. So let's just time lapse pretty much the entire day. Alright guys, today we're going to learn how to cut and buff a car, and there's a little bit of orange peel on the Skyline, so we're going to go ahead and take a DA and try to get some of that out. So we're going to start with 40 grit and just work our way from there. Yeah, it's nice and smooth already. Friday. If I had 2 weeks left on this car, I'd be nervous, but I have 4 days until Wednesday. Worst case scenario, I don't go to the little AutoZone thing on Wednesday, which I really want to go to, but it means I got to be done by Friday and have the car on the road Friday morning. So either way, we don't have much time. I'm pretty much going to throw whatever chemicals I have at this thing at this point. I wanted to save some of the top coat dissolver in case I needed it for Amanda's car, but we're just going to use whatever we got. Let's get back to the time lapse. Even less time left, so let's get into it. And yeah, hurry. We did get kind of a lot done yesterday. The wing is mostly stripped. The bumper's like halfway there. The trunk's completely stripped now. Sides are good, roof's good. And the hood, which was one of the biggest pains in the ass, is now stripped. I'm definitely gonna need some Bondo in a spot or two here. That fender's not too bad, but my main thing today is going to be the side skirts. I think I'm going to take them off because getting down there is going to suck, and it's going to give us a way better paint job if we take those off and paint them separate. And plastic stuff is more fragile, so we can't use the big stripper. Yeah, we got to do these too. Like I said, because they're plastic, I'm trying to be careful. Sunday, and we got 3 days left, 4 days, I don't know. I really wanted to have this thing ready for paint today. That's not happening. Maybe I can paint tomorrow. That's the goal now, is to definitely have this thing ready for paint tomorrow and spray it tomorrow. At least primer. Might have to do it in 2 separate sessions. Right now I'm super tired and my body just aches and hurts. Kind of starting to doubt that this is even gonna make it. I don't know if I should just call it quits and message Jared and say, sorry dude, something happened. I've done a lot of car projects last minute and got them there on time, but this one's just bad and this one's making me really nervous. Yeah, I don't know. Let's get started, I guess. Amanda came and helped me a bit yesterday. Thanks, babe. She did a lot of work on the bumper. That was a big issue, was that bumper. I should have just bought a new one. A side skirt, she did a bunch of work on that. I did some more cleanup on the car. I got the front emblems off. I did some block sanding on the hood. This is gonna need a little bit of Bondo, I think, because there's a low spot somewhere there. We're gonna get back into it and try our best today and try to get this thing ready for paint. Because if it doesn't get painted tomorrow, then that means I'd have to paint it Tuesday, and then Wednesday I was going to go up to the AutoZone event, so I could paint early Wednesday, I guess, but really that I need to be able to leave at like 5. I don't know. I'm really doubting this now. This AutoFlex issue was just too much. If I would have had another week or so on this, it wouldn't have been that big a deal, but I decided to do the angle kit because I'm an idiot, and now we're cutting it super duper close. It's Monday, I feel really crappy, and we're getting really close to the deadline. This was supposed to be the absolute day that we're supposed to start painting, but it's not getting painted right now. Yesterday, Amanda helped out a lot with the bumper and the side skirts and the side splats, or whatever the hell they're called. Front bumper's real close to being done. It still needs a couple little spots. The car overall is getting really close. I feel really sick. We stopped a little early yesterday because I had to cut the grass, and Amanda had to get ready for work and stuff, so I really wanted to go to that AutoZone thing on Wednesday, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. This is kind of priority over top of all that. Really like to see Vaughn and Chelsea drift a little and say hi to Vaughn again. You can see that there's some spots that really need attention, and I need to figure out a couple other little things on this bumper. There's some cracks and there's like some material missing here. I really want to try to do this paint job in one shot. If I got to set all these up inside the booth with the car, it's going to be a little hard. I can't remember how big the booth was, but I know it's going to be a little tight with all that. There's some sort of animal on the roof. Hopefully there's no animals that come in during this. I don't want a raccoon running across my paint with little paw prints and stuff. But anyway, enough talk. Time to get to it. I don't even know if I'm gonna record anything today as far as time lapse, but whatever. So we've been at it all day, and it's 5:41 in the afternoon, evening, whatever. But I think we finally got it to where we can go ahead and do a final cleaning. There is a lot of bare metal. There was a lot of paint that just didn't want to stick onto the vehicle anymore. Side skirts were done by Amanda. I got the bumper finally to where it should be. It's filthy in here, so we're gonna put some wheels on this, get it outside, try to clean up the room a little bit, and then we're gonna build a makeshift booth inside of our garage slash storage unit. We did it before when we did the Mustang color a couple years ago, and hopefully I have everything that I need. I kept thinking I could do it in 2 separate sessions, but I don't think I have time, so we're either gonna have to put the front bumper on the front or get another stand and try to fit everything inside the booth, which will be kind of tight, but we really need to figure that out. And it's late, so we gotta do that right now. Hopefully this thing starts after being ripped apart like this. At this point, I should just make a bare metal Skyline. Yeah, we already did that once. Not to a Skyline, but yeah, Fox body. Hopefully nobody poops on it. Stupid birds. This thing looks like it's about as worth as much as the Volvo at this point. All that primer from the last time, all this bare metal. So let's go ahead, try to make the booth, clean out the garage and everything. I guess we'll start first thing tomorrow. I really wanted to start spraying this today, but it's not happening. There's no way. I can barely move my arms. And the garage is filthy, so that's gonna be a whole ordeal. We're gonna go ahead and tape this up. I'm tired, I feel really sick. But we're gonna tape it up. We're gonna buy some more plastic. And then take the wheels off, jack it up. Just a quick little walkthrough of the homemade booth. This is dangerous because there's a fan that pulls through and vapors go through the motor, but whatever, we're doing it anyway. And basically, we're using a canopy from Harbor Freight and a bunch of 4mm plastic and this zipper that we can stick to plastic, and then you slice it and then you make a door. And once we're in the doorway, you can see that everything is pretty much clean, except for the floor being filthy with Plastidip and whatnot. This is mostly to keep bugs out. There is a bunch of cicadas still, and we don't want the cicadas crawling across the clear coat while it's drying and stuff. And we got a couple filter banks. I still gotta throw a little bit of tape on this wall just to make that a little more airtight, and it keeps the plastic up a little bit more. You don't want to suck in all this dust. A couple filter banks back here. It's gonna pull air in, keep everything clean. We left this one untaped because we still got to run an air line in here. And the car is pretty much taped up. We still got to tape up the brakes and the suspension. I'm going to try to spray a little bit of primer in the wheel wells just because those are a little dirty, and it'll cover up the white. The white's really going to stand out. Then we're going to throw some Bondo on the car in the deep spots There's probably gonna be a couple on the hood and stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be a long night. Very long night. But yeah, that's the booth. It worked out pretty well for the Mustang. Should work out pretty well for this. Really late start today because I feel like crap again. This whole project is killing me. We left really late. I did primer last night and a little bit of Bondo to touch up a couple spots. Right now, we're gonna have to figure out a way to put everything on the car and paint it in one shot because we don't have time to do this in 2 separate sessions. So we gotta put the front bumper on, I guess the wing, and then hang the side view mirrors somewhere, clean up this Bondo. Paint booth worked pretty well. There wasn't many bugs in here. But yeah, we gotta get this done today because today is Wednesday and we are supposed to be leaving Friday morning. So we have literally one more day and paint takes time to dry. It sucks. While we wait for our last little bit of Bondo to dry, which I probably shouldn't even put on. It's like 8:46. It's gonna be a really late night tonight, but we have to get this sprayed tonight. So let's talk about our color. Our color is gonna be really close to what it was. I'm not even sure if all this work is gonna be worth it. But this color is supposed to be a little bit different than what we had. This is Did Spade Soulless. This is one of their Super Shift pearls. Did Spade makes some pretty good pigments. The pigment, I can't even hold the pigment jars. I'm so tired already. The pigment that was on there before, it was a Dip Your Car pigment. I think it was CTR. But this Soulless is kind of similar. It's kind of like a purple to gold. It's supposed to have a little bit of blue in it. I wanted to get one called Vega, which was also a really good looking pearl, but Amanda talked me out of it kind of last minute. This should look pretty good once we get it on there, but we're waiting for the last little bit of Bondo to dry and then we can sand that and clean the car again, spray some more primer, then some base coats, then the color coats, then the clear, and then go home and then dye. And then tomorrow we can put the car back together, go to Formula D this Friday, be a nice booth car, and feel pretty good about ourselves, hopefully. Or we can fail. I hope we don't fail. I don't want to let anybody down. It's like 3 a.m. There was a little bit of an issue. I guess because I was getting a little cocky and the color was going down pretty nice. You can see the color. It's pretty cool. It's not going to look the best in here because of the no light, but there's a couple black dots here and there. I think because it's kind of cold up here, I didn't let everything dry enough, so I got those little dots going on. But then we go to the roof and we got some real drama. We got that there, and then we have that there. So I think it's partially me rushing through this, trying to get it done because it's so late and I'm tired. And I think the other part of it is that it's just cold. And also the paint on this roof really sucked. It wasn't in the best shape, so I don't know if it's having issues just bonding. It seemed like the primer was fine, but I think the gloss black was still drying when I put the color on. Yeah, that's the issue. So now I don't know what to do. Do I just give up? Do I go home? Do I keep spraying? You can see that it shrank there too. I just mixed up some more colors, so I have that in one of the gallon containers. So I don't want to waste that. It's expensive, but I don't know what to do with this now. One of the other options I'm thinking is to just wait for all this to dry. Just keep doing the color on the sides until I run out, and then do the roof in black. That's going to add a lot more time to this project, which I don't really have. Or I could just tell Jared that I f***ed up and I can't go. I really don't want to be a quitter. I don't know if it's because I'm used to Autoflex and Plastidip and I just sprayed too heavy too fast. It's 3:17 on Thursday. Like, we really don't have time. Tomorrow was supposed to be spent reassembling, and then we gotta wake up early Friday, so I really don't know what the f to do. I really f***ed up on this one. I'm so tired and dirty. This isn't fun anymore. I give up on cars. I'm just gonna start crocheting or something. It's really late, and we're gonna go home, and we're gonna sleep on it, I guess. I don't know. It's 3:55 a.m. I don't want to give up, but goddamn, I don't know what to do. We probably won't even go to Formula D, and I'm gonna let people down, and this video will never get published or edited because I'll just scrap it and act like it never happened. I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. It's the morning after the fiasco. It's been a couple hours. I went to bed at like 5. We're gonna try to fix the roof somehow. Sucks that we got some dots here. I really want to get a new hood anyway, so maybe this is a good excuse. This sucks, but it's not really a reason to not go. The hood at least. The roof on the other hand, that must be addressed. Everything else doesn't look too bad though. On this side you can see some more crap going on. So anyway, we're gonna wipe everything down with a tack cloth, clear the car, not worry about the roof, and then a little bit later today or tonight we're gonna try to sand this down and then do this in black. So that's gonna suck. We're gonna hurry up to the clear. Not hurry because we don't want to cause an issue again. This sucks. This really sucks. The whole thing today was to just get this back together so you get a good night's sleep for the weekend, and that's not happening. Make it bacon here. I'm getting a slow activator for the clear too, so we're letting it bake. The last coat is down. It's already 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I need to drop off my dog at the babysitter's, and we still got to put the car back together. So I don't know if I have time to redo the roof. I really don't. I mean, it's glossy now, but you can still see how it just separated really bad. If I could draw, I would just draw out like a dragon or something. Still see the separation slash sagging slash lifting. It's really bad. Overall, the clear turned out pretty decent. I wanted to spray heavier, but I really don't have time. If we started getting drips or sags or something, there's no time to fix this, so it's enough material to where we can cut and buff this later. But we're gonna let it bake for a while and then scramble to put this thing back together. Then I'm gonna go take a nap because I'm still really tired from last night slash this morning. It is a cool color. I like the color. I like it more than I thought I would. I think once it gets out in the sun, it's really gonna pop. Amanda convinced me to try to do something with the roof. The gloss on the roof probably turned out better than any other spot on the whole car. I mean, that's a really nice reflection. I sprayed really wet here because I wasn't worried about getting any kind of drips. Usually on flat surfaces, you can spray a little bit wetter and it's pretty safe. She convinced me to do something about this, and I think we're gonna sand this down and try to just do this in the black as a single stage with no gloss on top. It sucks because this turned out so nice everywhere else, but those sags slash delaminating slash whatever the hell you want to call this, it really sucks because these spots are just ruining the whole roof. But again, that's my fault. I sprayed too wet and it was cold. And I used the slow activator, which I should have got medium or fast because I know I was going to be spraying at night. But usually in Maryland in June it's hot. We get this nice roof and we're going to sand it and put black on it, and maybe that'll kind of save that. And then we got to untape the car, put wheels on it, put all the trim on, all that stuff. It's going to be a long night. I really don't want to do this roof. 10:41 the night before we are supposed to leave, and the black turned out really nice except for the spots that I already started sanding. The paint started lifting. The factory primer and color was, I guess, bad. I don't know. It started lifting when I sprayed the color. So I dug these down with the DA. This is still drying. It's kind of cold. I told Amanda to go home because I gotta strip that and get that color off and sand it, and I guess I'll primer it. You can see I already worked this spot a bit and got it down to the bare metal. This one was a bad spot. It was actually a bubble there. It was like that when the color separated. Maybe the base was what the problem was, and same thing over here. All of these spots, I'm going to take them down to essentially bare metal, scuff up the entire roof, and then primer it, and then paint it, and then try to put the car back together because we have no time. I'm not gonna get any sleep tonight. This is just terrible. This was one of the reasons I didn't want to touch the roof, but I mean, it did look bad. I didn't want to embarrass myself. That was the whole reason for covering those rust spots. I just wanted this to look as good as possible. And now this at 11 o'clock at night before we're supposed to leave. It's 6 o'clock on Friday. Paint that I sprayed last night, it's still soft and I can't sand it. It just keeps clogging up the paper. I had all intentions of just trying to sand this down this morning and trying to still make it up there, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't know why this isn't drying. It's kind of cold out, but I didn't think it was that cold. This really sucks. Pretty much we failed. I don't like failing at anything. not in a good mood about it at all, especially being that I woke up extra early. Got most of the contamination out at least though. So if I could sand this down flat and not worry about the sandpaper gumming up and pulling everything else, I think I'd be fine to spray primer and then some coats of just regular black, but I can't even do that because of it being soft. It sucks.
At this point, I don't know what the heck to do. The roof is ruined, we've really failed, and I don't know what to do. So I ended up texting my buddy. He said, man, don't worry, Friday's not that crowded of a day. It's mostly practice and qualifying. Just get the car here Saturday. So I kindly obliged, and we went right back to work. We have to get this done. Failing ain't something that Petroleum Primate does.
It's been a really long and rough day, but we got the roof in black primer finally. Half the booth is gone, and I hope no bugs get in here. It just got dark out. It's late because this took a while to do. For some reason, that black last night just laid like tar. Pretty sure I sprayed too heavy, plus spraying over the gloss like did something weird. And the original white paint was all melted and stuff from doing the Autoflex dissolver, and I think that was making the lift too. I really like the look of matte black on this roof, but we're gonna do gloss. Gonna scuff it up, hopefully it goes well, and then go home because it's like 9 o'clock. Yeah, it's 9:26. I still gotta take a little bit of camber out of the rear and then pack up a couple things. Clean all this up, obviously, and then we can go home and go to sleep and wake up at 6 in the morning. I've never cut anything so damn close as getting this car done. I think this car is gonna look really good, at least from like 20 feet. Plus I really like having a black roof. I got a black roof on the Mustang and it always kind of breaks up the color a bit. So yeah, let's go do that, finish it, go home. I'm so tired still. I'm so sleepy. Second coat of the jet black is down and it's almost dry already. I really had to have messed something up last night. I have no idea what. The second coat was sprayed pretty heavy and it laid out really nice. It's really high gloss for something single stage. Like I said, it's almost dry, so I don't know what the hell I messed up last night, but I think this is gonna work. I don't want to jinx it. I really don't want to jinx it yet. I guess we're gonna go to Formula D tomorrow. I hope. I think. I don't even think I'm gonna film on taping this because it's so late and I really need to clean off some memory cards. It's 10:30 and we gotta be up early. So right now it's 12:37 and Amanda messaged me a couple hours ago saying that I guess the qualifying runs there was a power outage, so Formula D is actually opening up a little bit early tomorrow. Car's clean now, wheels are on, fluids are checked. I did add a little bit of camber so the BBSs would actually fit. It took a few more hours doing that. For this event, there's no paint correction and there's no gurney flap and there's no emblems, but I think we're gonna make it, I think. Hopefully nothing happens while we're on the road. Still need to get a little bit of the dust off. It was very dusty in here, but we're going home to sleep for, I don't know, 4 hours. And pretty happy with how this turned out. I don't know if it was worth all the effort, but hopefully people like it. I like the blue, the purple, the orange that we got going on. But the hood popped because we need to hook up the battery before we leave, but yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. We made it!
So we did it. We got the car looking pretty nice. We got it there early Saturday. Everybody seemed to enjoy it. And Jersey got to see what Petroleum Primate was all about. Acquire you some of this. Beer, buddy. Oh, the sweet taste of success. This really is stupid. What the f am I doing? I could be doing something else productive with my time. Jesus, whatever. Okay, cut. That's it.